Hey again, Jacob Perry back with you for another episode in this video series on Patagonia, on honey, on honeybees, like those things behind me there. These are the hives at my father's house that he and I take care of together. And it's evening time here. The bees are starting to come back in from their last harvest, seeking out nectar to make some honey. So they're starting to chill out quite a bit. So on this episode, I want to talk to you guys about the rarity, right? The rareness of certain varieties of honey. This year, pretty exciting. The new harvest just came in, the final harvest in Patagonia. They're kind of entering into their fall and then soon their winter down there. Seasons are opposite in the southern hemisphere, right? So they finished up all the harvests for this year and have sent off another shipment to us. We're getting the shipment in a couple of weeks. We have new varieties coming. We actually have 4 varieties in our bigger 9-ounce jars coming, and new varieties for our little 3-pack honeybee flights, the sampler packs. So pretty exciting. That'll be here in a few weeks. We're thrilled that new varieties will be available for the faithful honey lovers out there. We have a lot of people asking us about what other varieties are out there. People have been pretty big fans of some of the smaller jars, some of the varieties that we only had in the samplers, in the little 1-ounce jars. And now we'll have those in bigger jars. So they're coming soon. And we will certainly be making announcements. Speaking of, if you have not subscribed to the newsletter on our website, PatagoniaBeeProducts.com, please do so. We'll be sending out information about the shipment and when it comes here and when it's available and when you can order your own jars. And we'll also be doing special offers through the newsletter subscription. So you really don't want to miss that. But I do want to talk today about why certain varieties are rare, why we only get certain amounts of certain varieties every year, why it's not super controllable, why honey is one of those things that you can't just mass produce and get the highest quality stuff. Since we do want absolute purity, we let the honey come to us in the most natural process we can, right, with controlled beekeeping. So I just want to give you another look at those hives. Those bees are coming in from their little bounty excursions. And so what's going on down in Patagonia, and the way you get different varieties of honey, is that different flowers will bloom at different times of the year. And due to climatic conditions, the bees are able to produce more or less honey, right? This is something I've talked about a little bit in other episodes and in posts, but I kind of want to make it clear here that when certain flowers are in bloom, like the teneo flower this year, for example, the teneo honey, we are going to get in bigger jars, but we don't have many of. It's going to be kind of a limited edition because when the teneo flower was in bloom, there's one visiting me. When the teneo flower was in bloom, it rained a lot, right? So when it's raining, the bees don't go out; they stay inside their hives, and to sustain themselves, they have to eat the honey that they've made and harvested. So they're actually eating up their honey supplies that would otherwise be harvested. So if it rains a lot during extended periods of time, it was a little bit abnormal this year during that season that it rained a lot, and so that honey is rare. The beekeepers weren't able to harvest enough. And then the flower stopped blooming, new flowers started blooming, the bees started making honey with different varieties, different flowers. So our Valdivian honey, which is, I think, it's a bifloral honey variety this year, of Tineo and Yuyu, 2 different flowers, and the Tineo, they're both going to be very limited edition, limited varieties, and that's just because when those flowers were in bloom, unfortunately the weather did not cooperate. So the Ulmo, which is one of the fan favorites, we will have plenty of. We're having that in big jars. And another one, which is the rainforest honey. And the primary flower there is Alfalfa chilota. So it's a flower you may know down in Patagonia. And those are both going to be abundant because the weather cooperated, and the bees were able to make lots of honey. The beekeepers were able to harvest plenty and still leave the bees some for the coming fall and winter, when the bees will need to eat that honey to survive. So there's your information on why certain honeys are going to be rare. Next year, Tineo might be the most abundant and Ulmo might be rare. So every year you're really going to get the most unique stuff from us, and we're only going to give you what is naturally made. I'm getting bit by mosquitoes out here. Luckily the bees aren't stinging me, so I'm going to wrap this up. But keep checking us out. Keep following these video series, learning things about beekeeping and honey and all of that. And I hope you subscribe for the newsletter to get special deals. And check us out. Thank you so much. See you next time.